What if, instead of giving a holiday makeover to some stranger's house, you revisit your own childhood home?
The name of your true love is Nick.
Nick! Yes?
We are talking Santa Tell Me.
What do the lonely do at Christmas?
Here is a quick synopsis. A design show host finds a letter from Santa promising to meet her true love, a man named Nick, by Christmas Eve. Meeting three Nicks complicates her search. Y'all, I'm diving into the holiday drumroll. I'm giving this movie 5 gold rings. I was thoroughly impressed. Like, it's a romantic comedy. Y'all, this movie was hilarious to me. And I will say, I'll start it off, like, if you don't like rom-coms, you will hate this movie. But it was definitely one that was kind of cheesy, but it was hilarious. They pretty much used every single romantic comedy thing possible in this movie, and I was dying laughing, y'all. Oh my goodness. The chemistry between the two main leads was amazing. And I kind of knew it was going to be because the two have starred together. They have like a bunch of history together because they were on When Calls the Heart together for like a few seasons. So they already know they work well together. And just the chemistry on screen, so good. But just like the story, it was so funny. Like, first off, how this movie started off, I was cracking up and I knew I was in for a treat because it starts off with like this girl who's like 10 years old. And she's writing her letter to Santa. And basically in this letter, she's talking about how she wants to find a guy, how she wants to find a soulmate. But it's not how a 10-year-old would write it. Like, she's going into detail. I want us to kiss with all this music around us. I want it to be snow. Like, it's so much detail that no 10-year-old would ever think of it. And so I was cracking up at that. I was like, okay. And then just like this movie had one-liners that were hilarious that I was cracking up on. So basically this girl finds this old letter that she wrote to Santa 25 years ago. So like when she's like 35 now. And she finds this letter in her old house. And so the letter is magical in itself. So Santa's leaving her clues to find her soulmate. And so basically he keeps on giving her like all these vague clues and then the clue will change. And so one of the clues is that her soulmate's name is Nick. And she has until midnight on Christmas Eve to find her true love or else he will be gone forever. And so she's like on the hunt. And so as soon as she like gets the letter, the next day she runs into 3 Nicks at a time. And, and so this is 3 Nicks on the same day, like back to back to back. And so they all ask her out. They're like, okay, here we go. And so on all 3 of her dates with these 3 different Nicks, she sends them all to the hospital. Like one guy she gives a concussion to, the other guy she feeds him almonds and he's allergic so that his face like blows up, and the other guy like they're basically opening up champagne and the cork like hits him and then it like backs him up and then he falls and hits his head. So first dates they all end up at the hospital. And then one of the like there's just so many good parts of this movie that I was just cracking up because it's my type of humor. There's this whole scene where basically she finds the letter from when she was a child and then she's like, I know what to do with this. And then the next scene is her throwing it away. She's like, and then she's like, you threw it away? Like, it's so funny. She's like, I know what to do with this. And then she throws it away. Like, oh my goodness, this movie had my type of humor and I'm crying so bad right now. But yeah, and then later in the movie, like when the Nicks find out about each other and actually meet each other, this one guy has a line that I was cracking up to because it's so cheesy, but it's so funny. So basically the Nicks are mad at her because they didn't know that she was dating other people or she was dating them as well. And so one of the Nicks is like this carpenter, like he builds stuff. So he says, I build stuff. That's what I do. And that's what I thought we were going to do. So serious and it's so funny. And then there's this whole scene like when the Nicks are leaving because they're mad and they're like, you need to choose one of us. So then they leave. One of the Nicks walks up to the girl and he goes like he puts it. One of the Nicks walks up to the girl and he puts a finger on her lip and he like holds it there and she's like licking. Like, it's so awkward but it's so funny. And then at the end, I've never seen Hallmark the movie do this before, but I was dying because at the end, you know, Hallmark has to end with them kissing. But this kiss, it's like they zoomed in on like their face. So like this close that you're looking at their lips. And so you just see everything. And I'm like, what am I watching right now? But y'all, oh my goodness. I definitely think if you guys like romantic comedies, you will like this because I just thought this movie was funny. There were so many funny parts. And I'm like literally crying right now from this movie. But yeah, I definitely think this movie was funny. They did really good with it. The chemistry was good. The story was good. It was definitely something different. And I kind of want them to do like another version of Santa Tell Me. Like, I want it to be something else. Like, I want a sequel to this with, I don't know. But yeah, this movie was very, very funny. It was very entertaining. And I'm probably going to have to watch this like every year just to crack up laughing every single time. But yes, it definitely, if you like romantic comedies, I think you will like this just because it had so much stuff. Like, yeah, okay, so this movie is basically all of your love delusion shown. Like, it's so great. Like, there's this one, for one of her dates, she goes out with the Knicks. You want to know what the guy does? He rents out an entire skating rink for just the two of them. What? And so then they bring that up later, and he's like talking about he's talking to the other Knicks, and they're like, what did you do on your first date? And he's like, oh, I rented out a whole skating rink. And then one of the Knicks is like, that sounds expensive. And the guy's like, yeah, it was. This movie, oh my goodness, it was very good, very entertaining. If you don't like romantic comedies, you will not like this movie. But if you do, if you even like them a little bit, I think you will find it entertaining. It has the cheesiness. I honestly enjoyed this movie. I don't even want to delete it from like my recorded section because I might want to watch it again when I need a good laugh. Okay, I will see you guys for the next movie.
This has been another episode of Real Talk with Noelle.